You Brett? Brett?
I'm Steve.
You're Steve.
I am. How are you, Mark? Brett Bowen?
Hey, Craig.
I haven't done it yet.
Alex signed in. Say hi, Alex. Rosa, Alex is watching. Say hi, Alex. Yay.
Hey Alex, wish you were here.
Wish you were here. We're getting ready. Hi, Craig. Are you at the conference, Craig? I'm sure you're at the conference, right? You're not? You're not in Nashville? Hi, Elderberry, babe. Oh, Lisa is. Okay. Well, I'm at the Tim Blank, and I'm going to Periscope it for you, Craig. So if you could watch it, and you'll get to see Tim Blank. We're at the 1 o'clock breakout session, and if you're joining in for us today, we have Tim Blank, the creator of the Tower Garden, about to speak. He created the Tower Garden aeroponic growing system that we use at our home to grow fresh fruits and vegetables using only water, no soil. And I'll show it to you here. I'll let you see it. It's beautiful. We're not gonna get... That's got the grow lights on it, so it's hard to see with the grow lights. But if you want information, I wish you were here too. If you want more information about growing your own food, you can email me at simple@mariaribka.com. But we're gonna get started in a minute, so hang in there, everybody that's tuning in. Tim Blank is gonna speak about the Tower Gardens and growing your food in the spring. If you've been to the land at Epcot and gone on the boat ride through there, you see those big towers that grow food aeroponically. He was a creator of that at Epcot, and Juice Plus has the residential rights to the Tower Garden. So we actually grow our food organically on the Tower Garden using the tower and some organic practices. And we're really excited because Tim Blank's about to speak, and I wanted to share it with anyone that's interested in organic growing. So if you stay, he should be starting any minute now. Hi, Allie. Hey, Dar. Welcome. We're waiting for Tim Blank to share with us the growing in the spring and the winter. Anybody on here like to grow their own food? Anybody have any gardens at home? One of the things that we love about our garden is there's no soil, so we don't have to worry about weeding and tilling, and what's the other word you try to teach me?
Watering and fertilizing.
Oh, water and fertilizing.
Yeah, you don't have to keep it on me.
So, alright, here I'll show you the room's starting to fill up. Yes, Alex has two. There's Alex. Say mama. Yeah. Is there a picture of the Tower Garden in that book, honey? Oh, a safari land. Hey, thank you for that big hug. Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can get that on there. Oh, there's the Tower Garden.
There's one right there. Why don't you go take a look?
The lights, when I put it on the lights, it was too bright. So if you're with us, you're waiting for Tim Blank, the creator of the Tower Garden, share about growing in the winter. You know, it's getting colder, but they are announcing a better light system so that you can grow year-round on the Tower Garden. We have 5 on our driveway. If you want to see them, you can go to mariaribka.com. I have pictures under Ribka Family Gardens. We're also on Facebook, Ribka Family Gardens. We grow outside right on our driveway year-round, full sun. But the Tower Garden has lights, and they're going to talk about how can you be successful growing in winter with your plants. So I'm hoping they're going to get started, and if you're still hanging on there, that's great, because we are really excited to have Tim Blank. He is the CEO of Future Growing now. He sold the residential rights to the tower to Juice Plus, but he owns Future Growing, and Future Growing works with big projects. They share rooftops. So, okay, it's going to get started now. Hope you guys enjoy.
We're about to get started, so come on in and grab a seat. Welcome to Winter is the New Spring. We're going to learn a lot about indoor growing. It's my favorite type of growing, especially this summer. in the air conditioning. I'm a Southerner by heart, and we don't go outdoors in July and August, so it's been really fun to grow lettuce indoors. And my name is Kim Alexander, and I'm the manager of Tower Garden Projects at the Juice Plus Company. And it's my honor to introduce our trainers this afternoon. We have Steve Williams. He's the director of our Tower Garden division, and he's been with the Juice Plus Company for 26 years. He's held several positions in the company, but most notably as the director of customer care. And he implemented many of the quality standards that you still receive every day when you call into our call department. And I think they are so helpful and fantastic. So we're glad that he was able to help build that department. In 2013, he became the director of the Tower Garden division. Brand new product, brand new department. And Steve and his team work in the areas of innovation, brand development and expansion, and special projects, such as bringing these fascinating and fantastic lights to our product line to help enhance our growing experience. Steve and his wife Teresa have 3 children and 5 grandchildren. We also have Tim Blank training today, and he's a leader in the progressive agriculture field. He's been working since 1992. And after receiving a degree in horticulture, he started his professional career at the Land Greenhouse at Epcot, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And after 12 years at Epcot, Tim and his wife Jessica Blank founded Future Growing in 2005. They began developing vertical aeroponic growing for both commercial farms and residential and homeowner food production. They chose vertical aeroponics as a much more advanced form of hydroponic growing, and by 2009 had developed the residential tower garden. It's a plug-and-play growing system, as we all know, that we've been growing with, because in 2011 he partnered with Jay Martin and our company to bring this tower garden to the market. And since that partnership, it has propelled the Tower Garden to be, by far, the most widely used hydroponic growing system in North America. They're going to teach you a lot of great things, and they've been fantastic teachers of mine, and I'm excited to welcome both Steve and Tim to the stage. Help me by welcoming them on.
Good afternoon. How is everyone? Great. Everybody get a good lunch in? What? No lunch? Too busy for lunch? I understand. Kim, thank you for those introductions. You did a great job, and we're really fortunate to have Kim as part of our Tower Garden team. Make sure you look for Kim tomorrow on the main stage. She's going to share some exciting new programs involved in Tower Garden. So make sure you look for her tomorrow morning. I think she'll be on around 9, somewhere around that time. As you guys know, we've been sharing Juice Plus now for 22 plus years, right? I think we do a really good job sharing Juice Plus along with the value of whole food nutrition. So I think we do a really good job. Everybody agree? Yeah. Absolutely. Tim, now along with sharing Juice Plus, we're in the business of growing our food at home, right? The Tower Garden. Why should we do that? Why shouldn't we just go to the grocery store and pick up the produce, or maybe one of the big box stores? It seems like that would be a whole lot easier. Can you kind of tell us your vision of why we have a Tower Garden?
Yeah, I would love to do that, Steve. I want to welcome you all this morning. I know there's a whole bunch more coming in from your other class, so come on in, take a seat, enjoy this afternoon's workshop. So proud of all of you for being here. We were just joking around after our first class. This room holds about 2,000 people. We were overflowing this morning. And 4 years ago, when we introduced the Tower Garden, we had about 200 to 300 people.
Maybe 300.
So it really shows you how much the Tower Garden brand has been growing. And hats off to a lot of you for your busy travel schedule. I was on a plane full of people that arrived at after midnight last night. Who was on that plane with me? There we go. Yeah, so you guys come from all areas, and you do a lot, takes a lot of time and effort to get here. So we're so happy that you are here, hearing our message of inspiring healthy living around the world. You know, which is our company's mission. But the world is changing. Steve asked me, why can't we just go to Whole Foods or the grocery store down the street to get our produce? And our modern food system today, it's broken, it lacks nutrition, it sometimes isn't even safe. Over the last decade, our agricultural imports from around the globe have increased 145%. The CDC's last year said over 250,000 people were hospitalized with serious fresh foodborne illness, and 3,000 died in the United States of America. Wow. And some of that happened with the cilantro that came from Mexico. Just recently, you all hear that news story on the mainstream news or Yahoo News or whatever. All this organic Mexico all this organic cilantro from Mexico was contaminated, and they went to investigate the fields. And you know what they found when they investigated the fields? Human fecal matter and toilet paper strewn everywhere. And so that's what we're getting. That's the price we're paying for cheap food. So we have serious food safety issues. The carbon footprint. How many of you heard that term, carbon footprint, before? It's very prominent today. Agriculture, at least modern agriculture, leads a very large carbon footprint on planet Earth. We're flying food from all over the globe. It takes petroleum to run machinery to grow that food. It takes petrochemicals for fertilizer, and they use a massive amount of pesticides. Something none of us in here want. We're all trying to eat healthy, and those pesticides end up getting into our ecosystem, and they're killing off the beneficial insects like bumblebees. How many of you have heard stories about the honeybees dying off? A lot of you. It's a very serious crisis. And I've shared this at previous conferences, so for some of you who've heard this before, but on our rooftop farms in Manhattan, Boston, Los Angeles, San Diego, all over the place, we have bees all over our farm because they're actually, even in a kind of a dirty city environment, the bees are thriving because there aren't the farm chemicals being sprayed in mass volume all around. It's a very serious issue. How many people were born in 1969 or prior? Raise your hand. Up high. So I would say that's like 70% of the people in this room. I was born in 1969. That's the year man first walked on the moon. And in my lifetime, our home, planet Earth, has lost 50% of its wildlife in just 45 years. Sad. People around the globe, scientists are becoming aware of this. It's way beyond, the global warming controversy. We're really trying to do something about it today. There's no bigger issue than water. Agriculture consumes a lot of water in both growing and the processing of food. USAID, leading international institutions, is a third of all humans globally. 1/3, that's several billion people by the end of this decade, will be almost out of water or chronically short. That's in our own country. It's a serious problem too. A lot of times in the U.S. we're used to reading about these stories, but we say not at home. This can't happen to us. We have a lot of everything. Not really. The USGS says over the last 100 years, the United States has lost 264 trillion gallons of water, and over the last decade, that rate in which we're using it has gone 3 times faster. So we're not slowing down, we're actually speeding up. And that has to do with modern agriculture, a lot of irrigation, and our increased population. NASA recently revealed that the Colorado Basin, which supplies a whole lot of the Southwest, has lost 53 million acre-feet of fresh water. Now that number is so big, we have to use that term acre-feet, because a 1 acre-foot is 326,000 gallons of water. Lake Mead over the last decade, you all seen this one in the news? I mean, it's huge. That's the difference in that lake over a 10-year period. I just visited it a couple months ago. It is one thing to see the picture, and it's the other thing to be standing right there on the edge of the lake, looking at it. This lake provides 4 states with water, agricultural water, and also the country of Mexico. They own water rights to that source as well. California is one of the most challenged states right now with the drought. How many of you from California? Give me a shout. You know what's going on out there. I've been on several of your phone calls, right? Your team building events, and you've got serious issues there. Dozens of communities now without water. The reservoirs just don't have it. They're drawing more and more water out of the ground. And for those of us in this room that are from Orlando or Tennessee or North Carolina, where we get a lot of rain, we could say, okay, well, this is an interesting story, but why do I care? We get lots of rain in Tennessee. We get lots of rain in North Carolina because the majority of your food doesn't come from Tennessee or North Carolina or Orlando, Florida. It comes from the state of California. 90% of all the lettuces and leafy greens you eat come from the state, and up to 50% of the rest of your food. And what I really love about the Juice Plus product is they're not plugged into this agricultural paradigm. Juice Plus actually has relationships with farmers all over the United States, and they build their juicing plants right near their farms, so they can harvest their fruit vine ripe within a few hours, get it juiced and into the product that we all take. So super cool. But to the rest of us, this California crisis is a big deal. Over the next decade, you're going to see the most radical drop in California food production since World War II, because that water is continuing to get cut back each year. And this year, it was 25%. And I'm sure you've seen in the news, they bulldoze fields. So as we move into the future, it's going to be essential that we transition to technologies like the tower garden, not just for great health, but because we have to, because a lot of these fresh fruits are going to get very expensive and or not be available. And by the way, if the price doesn't go up, it means we're shipping them from other places in the world. And do you think they're not growing in contaminated soil? Absolutely, and contaminated water. So, you know, the tower garden technology is cool, it's fun, it's simple, it's easy. You can grow all kinds of things. Conventional gardening, even at home, wastes a lot of water, guys, right? And so, and the tower garden, you know, uses up to 95% less water on 95% less land. Let me ask y'all a question. What would you rather be doing? Sitting there bending, weeding, tilling in muddy dirt, or reading a book and listening to your tower garden grow? Absolutely. That's what I love doing.
Thanks, Tim. That was some fascinating information. Actually, a little scary to me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm more inspired now about what we're doing with the Tower Garden and the Juice Plus company. How about you guys? All right.
So, Steve, some people know you, some people don't. You are actually the director of Tower Garden at the Juice Plus company.
I am.
You are a Tower Garden guru. This guy can grow some unbelievable towers. Why don't you share your story?
Wow.
How you got here on
I'll
stage
take
with
that.
me.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Let's do
Sure.
this. Pass the master.
Sure. When the Tower Garden came into play, I was working as a director of customer care for the Juice Plus company. I believe it was 2011 when we first started hearing about the Tower Garden, and I was intrigued. I live in a zero lot line neighborhood there in Collierville, Tennessee. I love to grow things, but I just don't have any room. So it piqued my interest right off the bat. So as part of as being director of the customer care area, I was invited to go down to Future Growing and be part of a due diligence team. We were going to get in there and check those guys out and make sure what they said was true. So we started with some of the raw materials. We looked into the plastics to make sure they were that food grade UV stabilized plastics. Guess what? They were actually better than what they've been telling us. It was excellent quality. We also looked into the minerals, the mineral blend. We'd been told, and I'd been growing, so I knew that they were the one size fits all mineral blend for the tower. So that was great. And our scientist looked into it with his scientist, or him being the scientist. So when we checked it out, everything checked out just like we thought, or even better. And most of you know, a couple of years into the project, the University of Mississippi actually clinically proved that. So if you don't know that, that study's available on towergarden.com, so take a look at that. Shortly, my passion for the towers started there. I'm growing towers at home. As soon as I get back from that trip, I've got a tower in my garage, I have a tower out back, I have towers at the office. We have 8, maybe 10 towers at the office now. I'm passionate about this, guys. I get up every day thinking about towers. I'm there for you on towers, okay? I'm supposed to be turning some of this tower business over to other people at the office, but I can't let it go. Every morning I come in and try to beat the other guys there so I can take a look at it first. So I knew real quick that this was a group of people and a product that I could get behind, not just get behind. These guys are professional. I wanted to be behind them. I wanted to be part of the Tower Garden team. So it was a real easy sell for me. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay, so we get back, we're all excited, we're ready to go. We introduced the Tower Garden, right? You guys took to it really well. It went on one of the best product introductions I can remember in the 26 years I've been with the company, and I've seen a few things come by. So it was really smooth. But as we rolled into our first winter, we started getting that question, are you guys going to have grow lights? When are you going to get grow lights? I don't want to bring my tower inside. I need grow lights. Are you going to get grow lights? I heard it once, I heard it 1,000 times. So we did the research, and you know us guys at Juice Plus, we do a lot of research.
They wanted it now.
Yeah. They wanted it now, right. So we did the research, we secured a supply chain so we can keep up with you guys so we don't run out. You ran me out in the first round. I dare you to run me out this time. I dare you to. I hope you do, actually. And today we have a product that I'm really proud of and excited to get in your hands so you can get out. And as the sign says, make winter the new spring. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for bringing the lights to us, finally. How many people do we have here from like Canada, Colorado, Minnesota? Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I remember those early days. Oops, I'm sorry, Steve. Now that we've got the lights, why don't you share with us the top 3 benefits that reps are seeing by actually bringing their tower gardens indoors and using the grow lights?
Sure. The first one probably goes without saying, but the availability of fresh produce year-round. How many people, if you go to the grocery store, to the produce aisle in the summertime, right? The quality of the produce is mediocre at best, right? We'll go in the wintertime. If you can find what you're looking for, probably not, but if you do find it, you have to peel back half of it to get to something edible, right? Yep. So here's a picture of me, my first wintertime harvest. I think that was February in Memphis, Tennessee. Pretty cold. That kind of goes without saying. Fresh produce year-round is the #1 benefit of growing indoors. Number 2, start early and move out in the spring. How many folks live in an area where you may get a late spring frost or maybe even a freeze? Yeah, happens to me in Memphis almost every year. I think it's time to get things planted. I'm ready to roll them outside, and then the weatherman says 34 degrees tonight. I'm thinking, oh man, I got these seedlings inside. They need to be planted somewhere, so I'll wait. And then my seedlings get all stringy, like, you don't want to plant them, they're not going to be good, so we start over. Well, with the tower garden, you don't have that issue with the lights now. Here's a picture of my tower in my garage early spring last year, I believe. I started these inside, and then 10 or 15 feet from my garage where that is, I go get this bad boy, I'll roll it out back, pull the lights off of it, and we're ready to go. So I'm harvesting when most of my buddies are actually just getting their stuff planted, so you get a jump on it. So that's a great benefit in my mind. So fresh produce year-round, start early, move out. Winter events. Who lives in a neighborhood that looks like this in the winter? Where are all those Canadians at? That's 9 months out of the year in Canada, maybe. A lot of gardens going on this time of year? Probably not, right? I don't think I want to be outside and more or less grow a garden. But with addition to the lights, just think how your healthy living party is going to go at home when you have weather like that. When your guests come to the house, they remove their coat, their gloves, their mittens, their hat, whatever they got to take off after coming through weather like we just saw. And they walk into your kitchen or living room and see a tower like that. First thing they're going to want to do is get some of your produce. Be careful, they're going to be snatching it. Second thing, they're going to want to buy one of these for themselves. At least they want to buy one. And hopefully, some of them will become reps, want to sell this product. So winter events, I think that's a game changer. I think all these benefits are game changers. I can't wait for you guys to get a hold of these and actually, let's watch them move.
Steve, how many of you have already been growing and with the lights for one season? Incredible, about 30% of you. This just isn't for winter, guys. Think about the limitless possibility. I just came from the Hawaii Juice Plus Tower Garden Regional in Honolulu, and building after building, there's all these high-rise buildings that many of them don't have a balcony. It's a beautiful growing conditions here around in Hawaii, but they don't have a backyard. Some of them don't even have a balcony. So it really creates, an extraordinary opportunity for this winter product in Southern California to Florida. Anybody that's in a retirement home or in a building where they just don't have space for a garden. So I think it opens up a lot more doors besides winter.
Absolutely. I see a lot of people actually doing both. They have an outside tower and an inside tower. Have an inside tower for your herbs in your kitchen and your outside tower for your binding stuff. That's a good point. Thanks, Tim. One of the questions we get over and over and over in the customer care department, I get myself, is there's so many lights on the market. What's the right light? I saw these lights at the Home Depot. Can I use them? I think we have one back there in the back, Jim. I saw this clip-on lights at, now this is a good light.
Don't laugh.
Yeah.
they were using this here.
People using all types of lights. And that question comes up, do I need red lights? Do I need blue lights? Should there be white lights? Should there be hot lights? Should there be no hot lights? There's just question after question after question. And I can't think of anybody than Tim, let me slow down. I can't think of anybody better than Tim to explain the types of lights that are out there on the market.
Okay,
Tim
Alex.
is a leader, as Kim said, in the progressive agriculture field. He spent 12 years managing the land exhibit at Epcot. And rumor has it, this is just a rumor, we'll let him confirm it, they actually did some testing for NASA on grow lights.
Quite a bit of this, quite a bit of testing, but yeah, really, we'll give you the 30-second lowdown on lights. Look, there's lots of different lights out there, and the right light for the tower garden is what we have right here.
Great.
But in the early days, before we had those lights, people would buy things like this, and I remember a lot of my Canadian friends, they sent all kinds of pictures. They were growing like crazy up there. I've seen Christmas tree lights, strings wrapped around the tower, and these things are pretty cool, but you'll actually could burn the lettuce that's in front of it, and the other plants do okay, and you reach in and touch it, and you burn your fingers, and so I don't suggest those too often anyway. And some other really good lights out there that for sure you've seen on the market. This is a picture of Chicago O'Hare Airport. How many have seen the Tower Garden farm there? Raise your hand. Fantastic, about 40% of you. On this farm, this is an indoor farm, it's been growing 4 years now, 20 different food crops, and it's been in production ever since the day it started feeding many of the 67 restaurants inside that airport. Did you hear that? 67 restaurants inside a single airport. And this is a metal halide light. It's a very clean white light. Has a great spectrum for the plants. They run very hot. They put off a lot of heat. We actually have these available at the ancillary store. They're about $550 a pair. They're more expensive light. You got to climb up and install them on the roof. And so we found that many people who were renting an apartment or a home could not damage the infrastructure of their home that way, nor did some people want to access heat. Another very popular lighting out there can be the LED lights. Now, LED lights used to grow food crops they're not those little strands you buy at Home Depot or Lowe's or Target for 30 bucks. Real horticultural LEDs are super bright. In fact, they're so bright when we were doing the research, we kind of had to wear sunglasses in the room because your eyes would start changing color. They look pink, they're not pink. They're actually half red and half blue. And that's because plants use red and blue only to photosynthesize. And so the concept with LED is giving them exactly what they need. LEDs like this for the tower garden, even at volume, run about 800 bucks a kit. And that was pretty pricey. So we settled on a very special fluorescent bulb. It's a full spectrum T5 bulb. And I'll let Steve share with you why we settled on that as the official light for the tower garden.
Absolutely. Took us a while to get to the right bulb, but we do think we have the right bulb, and I'd like to thank some of the leaders in the field for kind of pointing us in that right direction. You guys were using T5 technology before we were, so it really helped us. So thanks to those guys who led me in that right direction. First thing we were looking for is something affordable. Like Tim said, we do not need $800 sets of lights. I mean, I don't have $800 laying around extra disposable income. How about you guys? $219 seems to work. If you do that on installment when you first buy the tower garden, you're looking at $20 additional a month for the first year, and then they're yours. So they're affordable. Also 50% PV on these. So they had to be attachable. They had to work with an existing product, part of our product line that we have now, right? This is our support cage. Here, I changed the name of it. Now it's support cage instead of a tomato cage. It has a dual purpose. Angle lights. Pretty easy if I can do it with one hand. How about that? You can hang the lights, and then in the summertime you take it back outside and use it as a support cage for your vining crops and your tomatoes. So it needed to be attachable. Long life. Lifespan of these bulbs is estimated at 20,000 hours. That's 800 days, I believe, if you ran them 24 hours a day. We only recommend you run them 14 to 16 hours. So it's got a long life, which kind of helps that affordability issue as well. Low heat. It had to be cool enough, let's move over to this actual live tower over. It had to be cool enough that it didn't burn the plants, right? So it didn't scorch the leaves. Tender leaves would be easy to scorch. This tower's been lit all day. You can be comfortable in working around it as well. When you're harvesting or pruning, I can put my hand to it. I'm not pleased at it. It's not hot, so.
We saw that a lot with kids, Steve. You know, kids would crawl up to the tower because they want it. They want to pick their produce, and they can burn themselves.
Right, you wouldn't have one for sure. So it had to be affordable, had to be able to attach it, long life, low heat. And how many of you bought the first set of lights that we had? I think we had that question a minute ago. Thank you for buying those, and thank you for sending in your request for improvements. The first improvement was the actual clip that you attach it with. Did everybody enjoy putting those little pieces together? No.
Hey, my first light had tie straps. What are you talking about?
So we came up with this new mounting bracket. Very simple. One piece. Take it, hang it over the fork gauge. Like so. Pop the light in. Much better, much better. We actually have a few of these for sale over in the Juice Plus store too. I think there's a complete package of the brackets for $5. Okay. We also realized there was some confusion with the number of cords that came with it. You didn't know how to hook the power supply up. So, I'm missing a prop. What we did was we made a daisy chain version of that where you actually have all your connections in one place. You turn the lights where the male end is down, you start here and just work your way around. One simple cord. We took advantage of making the new cord and made it white as well. And we also powder coated the entire fixture white, so it looks like we have a custom set of lights for our tower now.
Steve, I love this because this looks so much cleaner, neater in my kitchen.
Oh, thank you.
I love this model.
Thanks. Thank you.
You guys, can we give this guy a big round of applause? 2 years. He worked on sourcing. We've had some challenges and finding the right supplier, and also to get the bonus in there and to get the cost down. So thank you. You worked a long
I'm excited too. I think it's gonna change the Tower Garden landscape. I really believe it is. So enough about our lights. We know they're great. They're amazing. We're great and amazing. Everything's great and amazing. Tim, could you maybe give me your top 6 indoor growing tips as a view from a degree horticulturalist? I mean, there's nobody better to give that than you, I think.
I would love to do that. Kind of the goal of our workshop today, we're going to make some notes available afterwards. Steve's going to tell you where to get that, is really to focus on the top growing tips. There's so much gardening information out there in general. It's the #1 hobby in the U.S., and there's a lot of tower garden information out there now. So we're really trying to narrow it down to focusing on, indoor winter growing. So top 6 indoor tips. Quality lighting. We just talked about that. I don't need to talk about that anymore. But what I would say is whether you're growing outside or whether you're